This is because there are a lot of them that are done.
This one's called the Viper.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Show him the picture.
It's stupid. Look at this fucking asshole.
What?
He's the Viper.
He's the Viper.
It's John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly is
The
Viper. Coming to you this Halloween. A widow lived alone on the top floor of an apartment house. One morning her telephone rang. Hello, she said. This is the Viper. A man said, I'm coming up. Someone is fooling around, she thought, and hung up. A half hour later, the telephone rang. It was the same man. It's the Viper. I'll be up soon, he said. The widow, I don't know why it's important that she doesn't have a husband, guys.
So no. Bless you.
She doesn't have a man to defend her.
Yeah.
The widow didn't
Or
know.
define her.
Well, kinda, because she's defined
still
as
probably
like
the
somebody
widow.
whose husband is dead.
Yeah.
Like that's
So
all we know
she's
her as.
literally
So
defined by the
he's
absence
dead,
of
but
her husband.
we're still defining her by
Yeah.
her husband.
Yeah. Absence is not equity.
The woman did not know what to think.
Much better.
How
Yeah.
couldn't they have said that? But she was getting frightened. One more time, the telephone rang. Again, it was the Viper. I'm coming up now, he said. She quickly called the police. They said they would be right over. When the doorbell rang, she sighed with relief. They're here, she thought. But when she opened the door, there stood a little old man with a bucket and a cloth. I'm the Viper, he said. I wish to wash and wipe the windows.
He's a wiper.
He's a window viper.
He's a window viper.
He came to wash and wipe the windows.
He's just from Central Europe.
Yeah. It's racist.
But that's his job.
I don't know why he had to call her
It's
like
ra-
4 times to
it's
say
ra-
I'm coming
it's-
to take care of your windows.
Yeah, why couldn't he just say, I'm going to clean your windows? Why would you
Maybe
say
the
I'm
postscript
wiper?
is, and then he stabbed her to death.
There's no context. Thank you. That's your context clue.
That would be so
I
good.
am here to clean your windows and
also to
kill
murder
you.
you.
Ew!
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a funny story.
No.
And this is the
Whoa.
picture.
No, that is horrifying.
Guys, this
Ooh,
story is
that's- I don't like
hilarious.
What's it say in the bottom of the page?
How the dead man danced. It's delightful. His
I don't
corpse.
remember that
gone
one.
I don't want
but
children
that's
to read
super
that.
gross.
Well, so this whole chapter is all about notes.
What?
Is this whole thing like
Why
an
would there-
appendix? This whole whoa. This is intense.
What?
There's-
Oh,
and
then
this
that's
is
the next book.
more
More scary
Oh.
stories to tell in the dark. Ah, it looks
Why?
like a ghost
How did they
baby.
get this job?
Ghost baby, yes. Ghost baby knows all your secrets, Terry. Let's
They
make up
just they found some really disturbed, awesome
really-
artist. who
and
was
it's
at the
awesome, but
end
it's
of
so
their
upsetting.
rope.
Complete with Stephen Gammell, splendidly creepy.
Who is
and-
this Stephen Gammell?
Gammels? Gammels?
I don't know.
Mark Gammels?
He just, defined our
Yeah.
childhood. It's not
Yeah, I mean Stephen Gammell put up against the person who wrote the copy.
I feel like the person wrote these kind of scary stories. Like some of them,
half-assed,
some
yeah.
of them
Oh,
are
yeah.
almost scary. I don't know. That horse one was like next
Women
level
always
fucked
are
up.
afraid of something.
Yeah.
Girls always are afraid.
It's like an 82-year-old woman wrote them. She's like,
Oh,
"How this
Everyone
is
should
spooky.
stay home.
yeah.
Girls should not be out with boys alone at night."
Or out doing anything really,
I'm
or
a-
alone. There was the babysitter
widow.
one where somebody,
No
the
typewriters.
calls are coming from inside the house or
Yeah.
something, and
Oh,
both
yeah.
of the kids are dead or something.
The kids are also dead.
I think so. There's a babysitter one
What
in
the
these.
fuck is this random face?
Man, I don't know.
Fuck.
I'm gonna go
But
to the
like-
bathroom. I'm
but
gonna-
that-
So wait,
this- the only-
old lady Semple wrote
only-
these stories, right?
The only thing on this picture was to Lauren.
To Lauren.
And they're like, I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna
this.
put pig boys.
I'm gonna just put
Yeah.
this. Is Lauren look like? Is that what Lauren looks like?
When we had a pig boy and we
Pig-
put him out to dry on the clothes hanger.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
Hoo-haws. Those are boobs, right?
Those
But
are boobs, but
you have the deformed skeleton.
these scary stories will take you on a strange and fearsome journey where darkness or fog or mist or the sound of a person screaming or dog howling turns ordinary places into nightmarish places.
This is a forward.
Where nothing is what you expect. That's a very long
Yeah, it's a
sentence.
very...
That sentence
yeah.
goes a lot. They're like, so it might be ordinary, or there's a mist, or maybe a scream, or a thing. When she saw him, she screamed and ran. That's not...
That's the title?
Apparently. Ooh, Princeton, New Jersey. You could tell nobody from Princeton was copy editing.
Wow.
Oh no. Something was wrong.
This is like done through the Educational Testing Service. It's that part of Princeton. It's the
Whoa.
SAT people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is... This one seems pretty fucked up. Fred and Jean went to the same high school, but they met for the first time at the Christmas dance. Fred had come by himself, and so had Jean. Soon Fred decided that Jean was one of the nicest girls he had ever met.
What?
I'm sure that's what he was thinking. He's like, oops. They danced together most of the evening. At 11, Jean said, I have to leave now. Can you give me a ride? Creative, Jean. Sure. I've got to go home, too, he said.
All right, yeah.
I accidentally drove my car into a tree on my way over here. Jean said.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. Fred drove her to the head of Brady Road. It was in a neighborhood he didn't know very well. Why don't you drop me off here, Jean said. The road up ahead is in really bad condition. I can walk from here. Fred stopped the car and held out some tinsel. Have some, he said. I got it at the dance. Thank you, she said. I'll put it in my hair. Is that what people do with tinsel?
Can we take a second? Because I... So, you really want to walk home for the rest of this?
Yeah, it's easy.
That's...
But also...
I'm not going to say, before you go,
Are you okay?
If you're going to go, I was going to give this to you later. I kind of took some tinsel from the dance, and I very much wanted you to have it.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you. What?
I'm gonna put it in my hair.
In your hair. That's exactly kind of what I had
Yeah.
hoped you would do. It's really beautiful. Thank you for sort of psychodramaing that for a minute for me, because that sucks, right?
So, well, first of all,
Does that make you go I wanna make out with Terry right now? No, it doesn't. It does not do that.
But also, he stole a thing that cost $1 at the dollar store for a huge
For,
thing,
a
and
lot.
he's like, listen, I got this at the dance.
This is a fraction of a penny.
But further, can we just talk about the fact that she crashed her car on the way to the dance and was like,
Tinsel. Yes,
but
yes,
she's
that's
like,
right.
I
She's
guess I'll just walk to
Yep.
the dance, and he's like, that's cool.
That's all right.
She's like, I need a ride because I crashed my car. Guess I wasn't paying attention. Women, they're always scared of something.
Leave your Honda Elantra behind. And yeah, I've got tinsel.
And then he's like, she's got the tinsel in her hair.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Mhm.
he's like, would you like to go out sometime to a
Yeah.
movie or something? She's like, that's great.
All right, so he's sealing the deal. He's doing it.
And then, as Fred drove off, he realized he did not know Jean's last name or her telephone number. I'll go back,
And
he
this is
thought.
before Facebook, so.
The road can't be that bad. He drove slowly down Brady Road through thick woods, but there wasn't a sign of Jean. As he came around the curve, he saw the wreckage of a car ahead. It had crashed into a tree and caught fire. Smoke was still rising from it. As Fred made his way to the car, he could see someone trapped inside, crushed against the steering column. It was Jean.
It's Jean.
In her hair was the Christmas tinsel he had given her.
Who's the nicest girl he ever met?
But she was already dead.
She's dead?
She was already dead.
He danced with a ghost?
He danced. He got an erection rubbing up against a ghost.
He was hating
We've
on
all
a
been there,
ghost.
though,
Yeah.
right?
It was a hated boner. Wicked hates of bonos.
Wicked hates of
Boners
boners.
past.
That's scary.
That is scary.
That is scary. That's the one that really, that is kind of
That's fucked up. I
Yeah.
read the last line. I was like, oh.
Oh,
And especially
no.
because it said crushed against the steering column.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
specific.
oh my god.
Fucking tinsel
That's
in their
rough.
hair. And
What
he
is
like
this
went
one?
and
He
stole
went-
the tinsel.
He was like, who
Yeah.
steals
Look at this
tinsel?
picture.
Who does it? I gotta say, more scary stories, scarier. I think they're scarier.
I don't like this picture. I'll tell you why.
I think you don't.
Because the people, the ghouls in the picture,
Uh-huh.
they're really scared of something, right?
Yeah, they're scared.
And they're already pretty scary.
That's
And this
exactly
one
it.
looks like E.T.
They've been scary probably for a long time.
So what do they have to be afraid
What's so
of?
scary?
Maybe they're looking at us and they're like, those
What's
human,
so scary, guys? What's so scary?
those human beings.
Oh god, this is a
It's
long
called
one.
One
Really-
Sunday
oh.
Morning.
Let's see.
I see torn to shreds.
I went to a 7 o'clock Sunday morning service at her church because
Oh,
she's a
good.
good
She's a
Christian
good
woman.
girl.
She's fun.
name's
Church
Ida.
bells. This morning, she heard her church bells while she was still in bed. That means I'm late, she thought. She jumped out of bed, quickly dressed, left without eating or looking at the clock. It was still dark outside, but it usually was dark at this time of year. At 7 in the morning, where? Okay, whatever.
Alaska.
No,
Ida was the
scared.
only one on the street. The only sound she heard were the clatter of her shoes on the pavement. Everybody must already be in church, she thought.
She said
Even though
stressed
it's dark, I guess? I don't know. Ida took a shortcut through the cemetery. Then she quietly slipped into the church and found a seat. The service had already begun. When she caught her breath, Ida looked around. The church was filled with people she'd never seen before.
Jesus.
But the woman next to her
I
did
thought she
look
was late.
familiar, though.
Oh.
Ida smiled at her. It's Josephine Carr, she thought. But she's dead! She died a month ago. Wait a minute. So even when you're dead, you still have to go to church? As her eyes began to
Catholic
adjust to the
church,
dim
probably.
light, Ida saw some skeletons in suits and dresses.
What?
This is a service for the dead, Ida thought. Everybody here's dead except me. Or maybe she is dead.
Ooh.
Ida noticed some of them were staring at her. They looked angry, as if she had no business there. Josephine Carr leaned toward her and whispered, "Leave right after the benediction, if you care for your life."
Specific.
Yeah.
If you can't for your life.
When the
You have
service
to
came to
wait
an end,
until
the
the
minister gave his
benediction.
blessing. "The Lord bless you and keep you," he said. "The Lord make his face to shine upon you." Oh shit, that's the benediction. Ida grabbed her coat and walked quickly toward the door. When she heard footsteps behind her, she glanced back. Several of the dead were coming toward her. See, that's them. They're angry. Others were
they're
getting up to
angry.
join them. "The Lord lift up his countenance to you," the minister went on. Ida was so frightened she began to run.
Why did she wait through the whole service?
I don't know.
She's like, God, this preacher can preach though. Oh, and this is my
Whoa.
favorite hymn.
Yeah, right? Oh, this is a good one. We'll just wait. Out the door
Mighty
she ran with
Fortress
a
is our
pack
God,
of
hell
shrieking
yeah.
ghosts at her heels. "Get out!" one of them screamed. Another shouted, "You don't belong here!" and ripped her coat away. As
So
Ida ran through the
judgmental.
cemetery, I know, a third grabbed the hat from her head. "Don't come back!" it screamed and shook its arm at her. By the time Ida reached the street, the sun was rising, and the dead had disappeared. Did this really happen? Ida asked herself, or have I been dreaming? That afternoon, one of Ida's friends, presumably still alive, brought over her coat and hat, or what was left of them. They had been found in the cemetery, torn to
Ripped to
shreds. Now, did Ida's friend ask any questions? Like,
Did Ida go to church
Did
on
you get
time?
attacked?
that's a good question. Like, "Hey, Ida, so we're good friends, so I recognized your
Your-
coat and your
yeah.
And your
hat.
hat.
Your stupid coat.
You're
yeah.
always wearing that blossom
What
hat.
were you doing in the graveyard, Ida?"
Hypernation.
What's up with
It
that?
probably was a blossom
Ida,
hat, 'cause
why
this is the
were you
90s.
not-
So this was
in
6
church.
who came over?
6. 6 came over. Blossom's friend.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched it. I
You're
just remember the hat.
Yeah, it was there. It was present.
Yeah.
6 also wore hats.
She wore a lot of hats. She lost her virginity on the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It was a
6 did or
big-
Blossom did?
6.
6. Blossom.
How old was 6?
Blossom kept it locked down.
Yeah.
6 had a little gap in her teeth and it was cute.
God, I was crazy for 6.
She was like the spunky friend. And
Sure.
Blossom.
And a slut,
Blossom.
This was
obviously.
totally a slut.
Bong. A weird blue light.
But this picture's kind of cool. And look
That's
at the detail on that thing.
Pretty.
So this was like the week that this poor artist had gotten a little bit of like help.
Yeah, but look at
Maybe
it
a
closer. Look
relative.
at the
Maybe
really-
a
Oh, that's
relative.
dark. No, it's terrifying
Yeah,
and
yeah.
awful, but it's
A
just not
relative reached out.
that bad.
It's very lovely.
This one's about a Confederate blockade in 1864. A
19?
Confederate blockade runner. No, 1860.
I was gonna say.
I don't think there were any of those left in
I
the
hope not.
1960s,
Unless
but
it's
you
a
know.
reenactment.
Necessities, cargo. Blah, blah, blah. A shriek from one of the crew. A strange old-fashioned schooner with a big black flag was rushing down at us.
We don't call them schooners anymore.
She was afire with a sort of weird pale blue light that lighted up every nook and cranny of her. It's a ghost ship. Obviously, it's a ghost ship. Anybody can tell you that. Blah, blah, blah.
Weird
Blah,
blue
blah, blah.
light.
They all had ghastly bleeding
Oh, look how
wounds,
cool
but
it
they're...
is. It has the page numbers of the original book.
Aw. So you're like, it's page 11. God, I've been reading for forever.
Oh,
You're
it's
never
page
gonna
11 of
finish
the
this
second
book.
book.
Oh, some say it was the ghost of Jean Lafitte's pirate ship Pride that sank off Galveston Island. And he has a pirate bar in New Orleans that...
And that was the
Well,
end
that-
of the story?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
was
bad
boring.
punchline.
Oh yeah, but I don't...
Do I get
That
anything
That
else?
bar in New Orleans.
Ooh, look at this fucker.
That was a sick.
Ooh.
Ew.
That is not
This
a cute
is the-
dog.
Oh
Led
no, I
Zeppelin
don't
song.
like that dog is bad. It's a bad dog. With that's the devil's like dog.
It's a devil
Uh-huh.
dog.
Because
That's
its paws
delicious.
are fucking huge.
It's the black dog.
Billy Mansfield said that a little black dog followed him wherever he went.
Oh, so cute.
But he was
Terry,
the
look
only
how
one who
cute it
saw
is.
it. So people thought he was kind of crazy. To drive the dog away, Billy was always hollering at it, throwing rocks at it, but the dog always came back. The first time Billy saw that dog was the day he fought Silas Burton. Billy was just a young man then, but the Burtons in Billy's family had been feuding for years. When Billy saw Silas riding toward him, he went for his gun, and Burton went for his. But Billy fired first. He hit Burton in the back, knocking him from his horse. What the fuck
He
family
shot
is this?
him.
Yeah. Burton's horse ran
What
off and his
historical
gun fell where
context
he
is
couldn't
this?
reach it. We've got no context here.
No. It's okay to murder here? I think
I
it's
guess
okay.
so.
But there's a dog, and
Well, their
that's
families
annoying.
are feuding, so it's okay.
The dog's the annoying part, though.
Yeah. He lay there on the ground, pleading with Billy not to kill him, but Billy killed him anyway.
Isn't this the premise to the song Rocky Raccoon?
He's a scamp. There's a Billy in it.
Burton's little black dog was with him when he was shot. The dog kept licking Burton's face and barking and snarling at Billy. In his anger, Billy killed the dog too.
What the fuck?
They kind of bury the lead here and saying
Yeah.
that like,
Is
oh,
it
there was
Billy's
a dog
There's a
that followed
dog
him
that
around.
was following around is
Yeah.
annoying. It started after he murdered a guy and the dog. That
Yeah.
kind of looks
Yeah.
like this dog. But anyway, there wasn't
There
much
wasn't much
law enforcement in those days.
Okay, that clears up a
Maybe
little
you
bit.
should have said that early.
So Billy wasn't arrested, but all that night he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin scratching on his door and barking to be let in. I'm imagining this, Billy said to himself. I shot that dog. It's dead. But the next morning, Billy saw the dog. It was waiting for him outside. From then on, there was not a day when he didn't see it, and there wasn't a night when he didn't hear it scratching on his door, barking to be let in. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on the sofa, on the floor, in his bed, even in his food, and the house and the yard stank of dog. That's
Stank
what
of
Billy
dog.
said. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't any dog to see, he said, maybe you don't see it, but I do, and I'm not any crazier than you are. That's
Said the
redneck
crazy
logic
person.
right there. Things went on like that for many years. Then one morning in the middle of the winter, the neighbors didn't see any smoke coming out of Billy's chimney. When they went over to check, Billy wasn't there. A day or so later, they found his body lying in the snow in a field back of his cabin. Billy had plenty of enemies, and at first it seemed like somebody might have killed him. Yeah, Billy did seem like a dick. Like, this seems like
killed
Seemed
someone.
like he
that-
ought to have
a dog.
died.
like easy, yeah.
Just for
But there wasn't a
justice.
mark on his body, and there weren't any footprints out there, except for Billy's. The doctor said Billy probably died of old age. But there was something odd about his death. When the neighbors found Billy, there were black dog hairs on his clothes. There were even a few on his face. It smelled like a dog had been out there. Yet no one had seen a dog anywhere.
Why did it take the dog that long to kill this guy?
Yeah, seriously.
They kill him the day after you. Like,
Maybe he's a
He didn't,
ghost
like,
dog. Maybe
suffer.
ghost dogs
this
don't
dog
have
can do
the-
anything.
Look
Look
at
at
his
that
claws.
fucking dog.
Billy didn't like. It
Dog
wasn't
has
like
hands.
the Scottish play or anything. He didn't live with it on his conscience or anything.
No,
He just
No, he didn't
just
give a shit.
lived.
smelled dog.
And he's like, I smell
And
dog
he's like, oh, this is
everywhere."
so annoying. There's dog hair on my stuff.
Ooh. These pictures,
Ooh.
though.
That's
I don't remember that one.
oh, that's fucked up.
What the fuck is this?
Can I see it?
Ooh, kninky knink.
May I see her?
She's so scary. She looks like a dead angel.
So she's
Yeah, look at her face.
Ooh, clink, 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 clink. Bazoo, clink, clink.
she also looks like Iggy Pop.
Kinda. Like,
She
if
does
Iggy
look
Pop
Iggy
was
Pop.
like
Here comes
a translucent gypsy woman.
with a nickel and jar and a sex machine. That's amazing. You've got it. Look, it's one of those.
Now
stupid-
quickly jump at somebody in the audience and scream, "You got it!"
Is this a bat cat? That's amazing.
Yikes. I don't want to
Oh,
follow with
that
that.
sucks. It's a cat that has the parts of,
Of
a
a
bat,
bat.
but the
It's a
cat,
bat cat.
also has
It's
like a
standing up, too.
human's navel.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So it's like a perverse sort of griffin-like human, because it's got hands. It's holding up this sign that says she was just spitting and yelling just like a cat.
It's like a
And
boombox.
he's looking,
He's like the say anywhere bat
and that's
cat.
because that's a boy bat cat. That's not a
Yeah,
girl cat.
definitely.
That continence is like male. I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
Terry don't like that cat.
Very
That cat-
upset by that
That
cat.
cat
Terry
is
don't like
not
that cat,
named
y'all.
Jinx and is not named Raffles.
Raffles.
That is not a good cat.
It might
And
be
nor
named
is it-
Kevin.
It's a
Oh,
bad
you wanna sit
bat
on that?
as well.
On what?
Look, it's small. I can sit on it.
I want to know about this fucking cat.
Oh, the cooler. Yeah, I can sit on the cooler.
Yeah, it's actually.
Well, it doesn't. It just says like in this chapter, there's this and this and this. So I don't know if there's even
Oh my
a story
God,
about
that's-
it.
The bat
just-
cat might just be the guy being the
gross.
fucked up artist.
This is
the
called
picture
The
in this
Bride,
one.
and the girl is got spiders crawling
Are
up
those spiders
her.
or flowers?
I
Oh,
just-
there are spiders right here.
Are they? Okay, so
Are they
this is
sea
spider
urchins?
web, and then there are like tarantula type spiders crawling towards her, and her face is all like emaciated, and the gum line has receded from her teeth, and one of her eyes is just the light is out.
gross.
This is terrifying.
She's a beautiful
Okay,
so
bride.
it's going to be like the scariest story ever, right?
I just
read it.
read the first page,
Okay.
and so the minister's daughter just gotten married, and for some reason after the wedding ceremony, everybody hung out and played games, because that happens at I don't know, maybe this
They're
is
playing hide and go seek.
At-
Like grown ass people?
yeah, instead of like having an open bar, they play hide and seek.
Like,
So
"All
she
right,
went up in the
Grandpa,
attic and she's like,
come
no one will
find me."
ever find me here. And she hid in a trunk, but then the lid came down and smacked her in the head and she fell unconscious inside. And
She's the
thing-
newlywed?
Yes, this is the bride. And then it locked. No one will ever know how long she called for help or how hard she struggled to free herself from that tomb. Everyone in the village searched for her, and they looked almost everywhere.
Did they
but
look
no
in
one
the
thought
trunk?
of looking in the trunk. After a week, her brand new bridegroom and all the others gave her up for lost. Years later, her maid went up into the attic looking for something she needed. Maybe it is in the trunk, she thought. She opened it and screamed. There lay the missing bride in her wedding dress, but by then she was only a skeleton. She got a raw deal.
That's not even like a story.
That's not
That's just
scary.
like,
It's just
it's fucked up.
very unfortunate,
It's just like,
It's real sad.
guess what?
and should
You
not.
might die in a trunk if you play hide and go seek too well.
It's another, like, moral of the story is don't ever do anything.
When you guys get married on the day, my
Uh-huh.
gift to you is that I'm going to make sure that you guys don't fall into a well or a trunk
Get
or get
no hide
locked
and
in a
go seek.
closet.
Somebody's like, let's play hide and go seek, and you punch him in the
I'll be
face.
like, go fuck yourself.
This one's got a suggestive title.
Oh
Ew.
shit! Oh fuck! That's
the
a
name of this is Wonderful Sausage.
Wonderful sausage.
We know all about wonderful,
Whoa.
wonderful sausage.
So this is a sausage meatball.
Made out of someone's own arm, probably.
in an arm holding.
The
Yes.
hand is yeah.
Some
Its own
say
left
he was
hand.
fed to the hogs.
What?
Others say he was fed to his sausage grinder, but he was never seen again, and neither was his wonderful sausage meat.
It really says
Okay.
He's just showing his
So he's a
dick to
butcher who
everyone.
killed his wife, and he ground her up into sausage meat and buried her bones under a big flat rock in the backyard. And he
It's
told everybody
called
she moved
special.
away.
Mm-hmm. And he
So
sold
he
them
mixed his new
per
sausage
What is
meat
Sweeney
with pork
Todd?
and
Yum.
he smoked it, and he called it Blunt Special Sausage because his name was Blunt. And there was such a demand that
Ooh, I love your special.
he
John.
oh gross. He bought the best hogs he could find and started raising his own pork, and he kept a sharp lookout for humans who might make a tasty sausage meat. How does one know that? Like, how do you look at somebody and be like, oh,
Because
she'd be good in a sausage?
I'd be
Marbling.
amazed.
Yeah,
I
you're
have
probably right.
big muscles and a fat butt, so
Mm.
I
So
would
you'd be
taste
great in a sausage.
amazing.
Delicious.
It would be so good.
I'm probably.
My butt is probably really tender.
One
I'm
day,
probably like deer meat.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
very
it's all
lean.
tendony and
Be
like,
really-
oh, it
it'd
tastes
be
like
rough.
tobacco and bourbon.
We'd have to brine you really
Yeah,
well.
yeah, a lot.
And then we'd be
just
like,
to get it soft
or like just
again.
make it like jerky, and
Mhm.
we're like, this is okay if we put a lot of flavor, like.
But
a
there's
lot of
only
spice.
like
jerky.
a pound and a
Dairy
half
jerky.
of my meat will end up being
Julia would be
digestible.
like the little bird you eat,
Be
covered
delightful.
by
Like a-
like
like a
covered with
delicacy.
a cloth, the
Mhm.
French thing where
Yeah.
they're like you have to hide your shame when you
You're
eat
like
it.
a
You're
Cornish hen.
What? I don't know
Do you
of
know
this
what I'm
delicacy.
talking about? There's a thing where it's a French, it's like a tiny bird that's
Mhm.
super tiny and delicate, and it's so tiny that you eat the entire thing with its skeleton in one
Ew,
bite.
that's disgusting.
But the tradition, I know, but the tradition is because you're like murdering a delicate, beautiful animal when you eat it. You cover your entire face with your napkin, and you just you gotta
And then you fuck.
that should be. It's probably an aphrodisiac because you're like, I
Yeah,
just
this
murdered.
is fucking
So is it
sick.
still alive when you put it in your mouth?
No, it's cooked.
If you're doing it right, yeah.
If you want to be super.
This is
fucking
something that
metal
I'm not
about it.
gonna look up. I'm never gonna
No.
do a Google image search for this.
Oh no, I
Delicate-
wouldn't look up an
Delicate
image search.
napkin
but
bird.
napkin. I don't remember what it is, but I remember learning about it. It's just like veal tastes great, and that's evil.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
It's not sexy at all.
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
mean.
not sexy.
Like foie gras is delicious, and it's so mean.
Not sexy.
It's basically like Abu Ghraib for like
Yeah.
poor little.
Ew.
Little
geese.
geesies, yeah.
You're like torturing them. They didn't do anything wrong. They have no information that they can give up. You just
They
want
just-
to overfatten their.
Who 3,000 years ago in like Rome was
Was like,
you
"Let's
know
do
what? The
that."
liver of this bird.
Tastes awesome when you fucking force feed it.
Why did you force feed that bird?
Can't you just give it McDonald's like the rest of the fucking world
Yeah.
and like let it get fatty on? Like I'm sure it could get really fatty without force feeding it. There's gotta you just give
So
it
you're
French fries.
advocating like a
Hey,
free
look, it's your-
range
it's
foie
your-
gras.
That's gotta be possible.
That's
What
your-
is that a
It's your,
lion?
your
That's-
Aunt Lisa.
That's Aunt Lisa when she got a bunch of like surgical things done so she could look more like a kitty cat.
This just looks like an album cover to like an '80s band that's like we are Lion Claw.
You're taking on the run, baby. If that's the way you want it, baby, then I don't want you around. Somebody was stealing the meat Jed Smith kept in his smokehouse. Every day a ham or some bacon or something else was missing. Finally, Jed decided he had to put a stop to it. One night he hid in the smokehouse with his rifle and he waited for the thief. He didn't have to wait long, for soon a black she-cat slunk in. How can you tell that? Unless she looks
That-
like that. She's
that
got a
whore.
pearl necklace and earrings and a mullet.
Fucking worn
That
out
bitch.
whore.
She was the biggest cat Jed had ever seen. When she jumped up and pulled down a ham hanging from the ceiling, Jed grabbed his rifle and turned on the lights. But instead of running away, the cat jumped at him. He fired and shot off one of her paws.
Oh shit!
Jed was sure he would have heard a woman scream right after his gun went off. The cat began tearing around the room, spitting and yowling. Okay, so this is like the cat, the bat cat, maybe.
Bad cat.
Then she ran up the chimney and was gone. Jed stared at the cat's paw, only it wasn't a cat's paw anymore. A woman's foot lay wriggling on the floor, all shot up and bloody. So it's a witch that's been doing it. he told himself. Just then one of Jed's neighbors,
course.
a fellow named Burdick,
That comes out of nowhere.
yeah, do we need to know that? Came racing down the road to get a doctor. His wife's foot had been shot in an accident, he told Jed. She's bleeding pretty bad, he said. The doctor got to her barely in time. People who were there when it happened said that she was spitting and yowling just like a cat.
Can we talk about how Burdick is abusing his wife by not feeding her and she has to turn into a cat to steal meats?
Can we
Yeah.
talk about how Burdick's parents named him Burdick?
That's
I think
why
those
he's
are the
an
real
abuser.
bad guys in this story.
That's why he's an
It's a
Male
cycle of
cats.
abuse. It's like, yeah.
Have penises that when they
Burdicks?
Yeah, they have burdicks. When they put their penises in
I've
the
heard
kitty
that.
cat,
I
it kind of
yeah.
gets some purchase in there and like
Ooh.
the
There's
tissue.
that's
another
why-
bad cat.
Yeah, here we go. When
Oh,
I wake
phew.
up, everything will be alright.
There's so many bad
Oh,
cats.
see, but this is
you.
another chapter thing. There are
No,
scary
it-
stories here about a
Why is
subway.
the bat cat back?
The bat cat
bat cat's
sucks.
back.
I
The
want to
very
Yeah, I don't like his
next
belly
day.
button.
the bat cat's human navel is the most atrocious and like
See, it
anti-god
kind of has like man
thing.
boobs. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
shaped
it
like a
looks
middle-aged
kind of like
man.
a
Yes,
shitty-
that's why we think it's a man because it feels
like a
like it's
shitty
like
guy.
oh god, it's this
Yeah, he doesn't
insurance
have boobs.
salesman who's like got me drunk and took me home.
What the fuck?
It's like a ghost
That's-
dinosaur.
I kind of
Ghost
want to get
Godzilla.
like full
that's
posters of
terrible.
this. Hang it in your bedroom overnight. You wake up to it like in the darkness when you have to pee.
You're like, why did I get that?
The cat in a shopping bag. There's a lot of cat ones in this one.
Cats, everyone thinks they're evil, but they're really awesome, and they make good Reddit gifts.
Preaching to the choir. Okay, so a woman runs over a cat. She couldn't bear to leave the corpse on the road for other cars to hit, so she wrapped it in some tissue paper, put it in an old shopping bag, and she was going to bury it when she got home. And then she went to the mall,
hmm
and
No,
she's walking around,
with the dead cat in the bag. Why would you?
and
do
then
that?
she sees a woman steal the cat bag from her car and drive away.
What?
And so she runs back to her car and follows the woman. And she caught up with her at a diner down the road. And she followed her inside and watched the woman slide into a booth and give the waitress her order. As the woman sat sipping her soda, she reached into Mrs. Briggs' shopping bag. Then she bent down and looked inside. A look of horror crossed her face. She screamed and fainted. Yeah. Okay.
hmm
Woman called an ambulance. Attendants carried her on the stretcher, but they left the shopping bag behind. This is hers, she called. It's her Christmas present. She wouldn't want to lose it.
What a sadistic, fucked up person.
Well, I mean, that's what she gets for stealing, I
it.
guess.
She's still this woman's.
It's
That's
a
really,
Christmas present.
that's really fucked up.
That's a weird punchline,
That
though.
is
Yeah.
really
What?
weird. So Mrs.
Okay.
Briggs was trying to
Are they
save.
writing this for the the brains of like a 9-year-old kid?
Yeah.
The
'Cause I
dead man's hand. I'm gonna read this.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This illustration is really troubling.
So troubling illustration because the
It's like
pinky,
it's like a gangrenous dead hand.
yeah, bloated here in the
Ooh.
pinky and like the
Ooh.
thumb and
Like
like
the bone sticking out of the wrist.
Oh,
the
it's a lot.
skin is receded so that the
Mm.
fingernails are kind of protruding a little bit.
Y'all hungry again?
Mm-hmm.
You
Students.
want one of those clown